are here, and we're going to pass this off. Nakisha.
It feels so awkward to be so Nakisha ever. What's poppin', y'all? It's Shhmoney. Also, Nakisha. Don't put my government name out there. What's poppin'? We finally made it. It has been a long week. Coming back, I am super excited. I'm on vacation mode. I go to Puerto Rico for a whole week on Friday. And I cannot wait. I wanted to cancel my whole book. I swear I wanted to cancel my whole book this week. I was like, you know what? I think I need a vacation from a vacation. So let me mentally get myself together.
So did you cancel?
No, because I need the money. I ain't stupid. No, yeah, I ain't stupid now. I think about it. I dream about it. But no, I'm so ready. I'm going to work my butt off 20-hour days until I slide. So I know this week, all the money I'm putting in my pocket is vacation money. So it's worth it. I'll be here from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day.
But that doesn't mean that the phone's going to be ringing until 10 p.m.
Oh, no, they try. They damn sure do. They see me on Snap at all, it's a wrap. Like, they'll start writing me, hey, I need an appointment, da-da-da. I'm like, I'm so booked out. I'm booked out until the end of May at this point, which is a blessing. I pray for that. I've been in the industry actually the 17th, which is the day I'm leaving to Puerto Rico. I make exactly 10 years in my hair industry. So that means I am officially a master stylist. After 10 years in the industry, you become a master at it. So I'm just like, I'm kind of ready to celebrate, but I'm also closing my book. A lot of my clients don't know that yet. When I come back from Puerto Rico, I am dropping a video just telling you guys, y'all hear it exclusively here at Parlor Talk. I will no longer be taking any new clients at all. I am in a venture of opening up my second business that hopefully, fingers crossed, the grand opening of the plug would be 4/20 because it's my favorite day of the year other than my birthday. So we're going to be having a big celebration. But from that on, I'm no longer taking any new clients coming in unless it's weddings and big events and hair shows. Kind of taking the power of myself back. I've slaved myself for this industry for 10 years. People come into any business, entrepreneurship. It don't have to be a hairstylist, a barber. It can be flooring, painting, anything. But after you hustle so much and put so many years into it, a decade's a long time. I spent my 20s creating my happiness to be free by my 30s. So I'm taking it back and I'm just ready to be a mom, bro. Be behind the scenes of running a real business and doing hair because I love doing hair again, not because I have to slave to make ends meet anymore. I've done that. So when you are in this industry or whatever industry you are in, don't give up. Like your first year is a beautiful year because there's fire. Like you're brand new to it. You have this energy that you never even thought you had to build a business. Your third year is guaranteed that you're staying. You're ready. You're moving now. Residual income's coming in. By your fifth year, oh baby, ain't nowhere you going. Like this is where you're supposed to be at. You're bringing money in. You're enjoying it. That's when vacations come. By 10 years, I feel like you're so comfortable. It's like you sleep and you do whatever you do for a living in your sleep. And that's when it's time to kind of sit back and enjoy your flowers while you can. Now, when you're 60 years old, retiring off a 9-to-5, man, I ain't on that. So I'm excited. That was my weekend, y'all. That's what I thought of all week. That's what I'm ready for. How was your week, Dee?
Well, hi guys. Welcome to Parlor Talk. This is Dee Dominguez. I am the oldest one in this podcast. These girls, all that whole 10-year thing, like I'm tired just listening to her. No, I had an uneventful week, I guess I would say. I relaxed a lot. My husband and I, my husband's here. I don't have to ask permission to talk about him now.
Today's a clear day.
He's our behind-the-scene guest today.
And a watch while.
But no, we spend a lot of time relaxing. You know how you were talking about after 10 years, like as business. My husband and I, we've been together 29 years. Our kids are grown. You know, we don't have babies anymore.
You deserve that.
Now we get to like start enjoying the fruits of our labor, so to speak, and just, spending more quality time with each other. I'm still looking forward to that whole empty nesting thing. I don't know what it's like because my nest is still not empty yet.
Oh, it's never going to be empty. It's never going to be empty.
Well, eventually will. Like empty, like just him and I living together in the household. But my daughter sold her house, and she's in the process of building her dream home. So her and her entire family moved back in with us. So.
Oh, I was about to say, y'all just made it to the point y'all could walk around butt booty naked in the house.
That's what I wanted to do.
That's what I want to do. Cook some bacon with nothing on. Just
that was my
maybe get burnt a little bit, but you okay with it?
So when my youngest was about to graduate, I was like, oh my God, for the first time ever, we're gonna be by ourselves. Like I can be naked. We can just, do things in every corner.
Yeah. That's what I be praying
but
on.
before he moved out and went to college, she moved in with her 3 kids and her husband. God. So, but it's okay. It's okay because, as family, we take care of our family. So eventually we'll get there. But my week was just chill. My husband and I just chilling. But I would like to introduce our guest, my friend, Priscilla. How about you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do and about yourself.
All right. I'm Priscilla. Wow. I do a lot. Like, listening to you, I'm like, yeah, I'm about 12 years in the industry of the beauty industry. So I started off as a cosmetologist and then went into aesthetics. And I've had my business almost 8 years here in Florida.
Congratulations. That's beautiful.
But I'm transitioning out as well for my purpose. I'm definitely a spiritualist. I'm a medium, channeler, psychic.
I love that. Ooh, are we doing a reading on site today? I'm into all that shit.
I told you, none of this is scripted, and I didn't tell. They didn't
tell us nothing.
I love it.
We don't do no like. When we're gonna have a guest, I'll go into their social media and see a little bit so I can know what to ask. Right. One time
I'll be real with you. I don't even do that no more.
Hold on. Can I be real? I did, and then I was just like, "Oh, she's very spiritual, but what is it that she actually does?"
Yeah.
So I was clueless.
Okay.
Yeah, I really did. I didn't look at all.
I'm tapped all the way in. All the way in to the point where I'm really a medium. I'm a channeler. If you get a reading with me, you don't have to even ask questions. You can just sit there. That's what most people do. They don't ask questions. They just sit there. All my readings are live, looking at you, not even looking at you. As I look to the left, because I see, hear, and feel. So it's pretty interesting. So that's me, and I'm pregnant.
Oh my God! Congratulations!
Yeah, I'm pregnant. My first baby. I'm 33, and this is my first baby.
Oh my God! God bless you.
Yeah,
how many
I call it the Jesus year. You know how they say Jesus 33.
Yes.
I'm like, yo, this Jesus year is intense already.
Do you know what you're having yet?
No, it's crazy. So the second ultrasound I just had, the baby literally turned his butt up in the air.
He's like, yeah, no, you ain't gonna find out.
And then wouldn't open his legs.
Stop it.
Would not open his legs.
Wouldn't you just want to find out when the baby's born?
No.
You know what? I want to do that my second child if I do have one.
I thought about it, right? My thing is that I keep talking to the baby.
It's okay.
And I want to say the name, and I keep slipping with the girl name that I have, and I'm like,
might be you know, we're Puerto Rican. I can tell you real quick what you have. And
yeah, let's do a fork and a spoon.
That's Dominican stuff.
That's
Puerto Rican.
A fork and a spoon.
Yes.
A string.
Yeah.
I tell you about your body. So they always say women, if you're having a girl, you get whiter. If you're having a boy, you're long and narrow.
All in the
so you're all stomach. I'll be real with you. Every client I've ever done that to, it's just I get a feeling they're always having it. So if you really want to know, girl, you can stand up. That's how you.
Save the 4D, 3D ultrasound.
Right,
I'm gonna tell you, I got you ASAP. Wow. Thank you. Oh, that's my marketer right there. That's my marketer right there. I got you. You got 250 out of that 5. I appreciate it.
I do want to say, because I know a lot of people see what you do as something that's not of God. Something that's negative. Yeah. Personally, I want to share my relationship with her and how we met. We met at the gym, where she also had her her spot at the gym as well.
Well, you just beat everybody at the gym.
I do.
She did.
I
Fit
know.
Beauty.
That's good networking for you.
Yes. Shout out to Fit Beauties 239. You know, we are looking for a sponsor if you would like.
I mean, I guess
yeah.
we're gonna have to start going to the gym.
At that point, right? I need to. My fat ass. I'm gonna gain like 28 pounds of
You're
happy
gonna gain
weight.
some more when you go to Puerto
I like
Rico.
to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, yeah, that's why I'm on a diet right now. This is my first Red Bull in 2 weeks. I've been doing really good.
But anyway, so I met her, and when I met her, like her vibe was just amazing. First of all, I also met her mom, Mama Dukes. I miss Margarita. I love
shout out to
her.
Margarita.
Yes. So when I met her, her vibes, loved it automatically. Then I went into like the spa to look at it, and I saw that she was selling some stuff, and I was like, and then I saw like herbs, and I was like, eh. As a Christian, right? Anything that has to do with like what's that?
Anything that resembles brujeria,
Brujeria or anything, you're like,
yeah.
no, you know.
Well, see, I grew up Catholic. I'm the complete opposite.
So
Because Catholic is
I'm
slash.
saying we're like Roman Catholics. In other words, in Roman Catholics, it's santeros.
They're santeros.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
see, in
Yeah.
the Catholic Church, you believe in saints, and,
Exactly.
you know,
Yep,
and all
they
that.
do.
But I'm Christian, so I was like, ugh. Something in me was like, oh, maybe that's not too good. So I got to know her as a person. And for my first event for my nonprofit, I reached out to her and I said, hey, I have this event. Do you want to be a vendor? And she was a vendor. And then for my birthday, I invited her to my house. And that's when we really like connected. And I was like, what she does can't be negative because she's not a negative person. What she does has to come from love because she's such a loving person. And also, let me mention the fact that she not only was a vendor at my event, but she gave away to teen moms, she gave away free facials and massages
Oh, that's
to all the teen
freaking
moms
dope,
from our
man.
mother's home.
Yeah. I love
So
that.
after all that, after 3 years of knowing her, I was like, I'm going to go to you and see what this is all about. When I tell you that I left that place and
Was you boohoo crying?
I was boohoo crying throughout the whole thing.
Really?
I was boohoo crying afterwards. And like she said, now she doesn't even, the only social media I think she has is Instagram.
Just Instagram.
Because you know, the first thing you think about when somebody's gonna do like a read, you're like, do they know my story? Like, do they know me? Like, can they pick stuff from
That's why I
my...
don't go to anybody that knows me personally.
So I knew when I left her shop, there was no way that she knew any of the stuff. Even though I say I'm an open book, I don't put everything on social media.
Yeah.
But furthermore, I recorded. She allows you to record it. So I recorded the session. And I went home and I told my husband, I said, I need you to listen to this. And I gave him my phone, and he sat in his recliner with his earbuds. And I'm like on my computer, and you know how you could feel when somebody's watching you?
Yeah.
I went like this, and he's like, and I'm like, right? Because she said a lot of stuff about him too.
Oh, I love that.
But the funniest thing was that
I'm like so intrigued right
there
now.
there was a surprise that he was planning for me. She described it. I had no clue. So at that point, I was like, oh, I don't know what she's talking about, but maybe it's this other one. I didn't, because they can't be on point
Yeah.
with every single thing. At least I thought. So and afterwards, he just told me, he's like, yo, I'm planning a surprise for you. And what she described is that. And I was like, but in conclusion, what she does is amazing. She does it in such a caring way. She does it in a loving way. And there's no way it could come from any negative. It could only come from God. So
I appreciate that.
Yes.
A lot. Like, it's been years. I've been who I am for my life. I shut it out for a long time because of the criticism of, people automatically thinking that it's from the devil or that stuff is santeria or you a bruja or whatever the case may be. And I had to realize, like, it took a lot for me to finally come out and be like, I am who I am. And
you even said that you were bullied.
it's been not easy to be able to come out and say, like, I'm a medium. Yeah, I do this. Like, I channel. I'm completely directly coming from source. I don't, I talk to ancestors, of course. I talk to people's guides, angels, whatever comes through, but it's always of the highest energy. And it wasn't easy. It was, especially coming from New York. New York is so hypocritical, like to the most extreme. So I'm glad you even pointed out, like, Catholic. So I was raised Catholic. Mm-hmm. But yet in the house, we had the whole Santero stuff look everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I never subscribed to it. I never felt called to that. I even went through a point in my life where I thought I was atheist, where I was like, oh, no, I don't believe in nothing. Mm-hmm. Nothing at all. And that took years for me to say, no, there is a higher source. There is a divine energy. And it's been a ride. It's been truly a blessing. It's a gift that I have. And the gift is not for me. So I don't read myself. And if you ever hear a psychic or anybody saying, oh, yeah, I read for they ain't it then. Because the path that when you chosen, because, you chosen in your lane. Mm-hmm. You chosen in your lane. You chosen in your lane. Mm-hmm. But when you chosen in this lane, there's no doing it for you.
It's a service for
everybody. It's a service for the collective. It's for others. Like, when somebody's calling on me, it's not because they can't pray. Like, I can't stand when people be like, oh, you don't need no reading. You don't need no this. You just need to go pray. And I'm like, if that was the case, then a lot of people wouldn't be over here feeling like God don't hear them. Yeah. And why my prayers are not being answered. No, it's just that sometimes you're fine-tuned, not there to hear what's being said to you, or you're not paying attention to the signs and the synchronicities of what source is trying to tell you. And that's why I'm here. And I'm here to help people really elevate, really like tap into their consciousness and to get the answers that deep down in their heart and soul they're looking for. Like when Dee came to me, it was intense. She didn't know what, and I don't know what's going to come out either. It was intense. And most of the times I don't even remember the reading. Like, I don't remember the readings. I don't remember anything really that's said. Sometimes if the person's talking to me, like later on, and they bring up something, then it might trigger. And then I'm like, I kind of remember that. You know what I mean? But it's not for me.
Do you do group readings?
I've done collective readings. I've done readings for couples. But like group, no, not necessarily, because the energies will interchange.
It's too many, right?
Yeah, it'll be intense. Like one time, because all my readings are live, either on video live or over the phone. So one time I had this girl and she was on the phone but live on a video call. And she was in her car. A lot of people, you'd be surprised they get that their readings done in the car because it's their private place. They don't want to get it in the house, whatever, right? So she's sitting there, and I always tell people, make sure you're alone. Make sure you're alone. She ain't believe me. And I said to her, we start the reading. I said, let me tell you something. There's a female that's staring at you. She's looking at you. She turned the phone to the side, and her friend was sitting there staring at her. I was like, I told you I can't read you if somebody else there, because the energies will interchange, and then I'm going to be picking up that person, yours, and it'll be too much. Now, a collective reading, that's different. Like, say, like, we have people here, and I tap into the collective. There's going to be stuff that's coming out for everybody. And some people are going to like be like, oh, that was for me for sure. Like I have a reading that's up. I predicted the whole hurricane, everything that's going on naturally with up north. Have you heard about those snowstorms that have been cutting out power?
Yeah.
It's in my last collective reading, and I haven't done a collective reading in a while because it takes a lot of energy out of me, like to tap into such a broad collective of people. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, my family's been wanting, because we all believe in it, and it's just like they've always like, oh, like we should do one, and it's just like, I don't know if you're ready for that.
Being Puerto Rican, like my uncle's side, his mom is a santera. Like we've known it for years. She's cut chickens' heads off and thrown blood on my mom when she was younger. Yeah,
I've seen it.
I've seen it all to the point that I respect it enough not to mess with it. And it's just you have to respect it. If you're Christian,
believe in God, you believe.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
I'm Catholic. I grew up Catholic my whole life, but when I turned 18, I started going into different fields. Like I believe there's something real in every religion. If you really listen to every religion in different languages and all, they're very similar. We all praise to a higher power.
Yes,
but you get to the point that you question too much. Yeah. Then if you start opening up wrong doors, you never know what's going to lay back on you because they're asking for stuff. You have to return certain things. So you have to respect it. My grandmother, on the other hand, I don't deal with her. We call her a witch for a reason because she really is one of those. If you follow my uncle, he was a professional boxer back in the day. You'll see her with Oscar De La Hoya's fight. He had a santero and he had my grandmother, and they were both in white, running around the whole boxing ring with all white, throwing out sage and praying to the upper power. And Macho he lost that day. And it was one fight that he won, and I remember her yelling at the santero, I'm stronger than you. I'm stronger than you. Yeah. And it was wild growing up with that. But I went 2 years ago. My birthday, 3 years ago, 2 years in a row, I went to New Orleans because they believe in very heavy, but it's like, it's different types of magic, very different. But I love the history behind it. I just think it's dope. I've been to Thailand to get to know Buddhism, which I respect a little. If you look around my shop, it's the way of life. It's the way of living. That's what cleared my soul from everything. I believe in reincarnation, all that good stuff. Same. And when I went there, I met a lady, and it wasn't some lady that was, those people go on the main streets of Bourbon, they're asking for money. They ask for money off rip, they're not it. They're just gonna naturally talk to you. If they really are, they don't ask you your name. If they do, it's your first name, and other than that's all they ask. Yeah. So the man told us in the carriage like, "Why you came to New Orleans?" It was my 26th birthday. I was going through hell here, about to lose everything. It was right after COVID. And I was like, I came to get a reading. I want to get a reading. I've been very cautious, but I want to go to somebody that don't know me. So he took me to a lady. And he's like, look, she's a so-and-so person. She's always by herself in the street. If she's there, she's only there till about 8, 9 o'clock. If she's not meant for you. We didn't get there till almost 9:30, 10, and she was sleeping on a little basket. Wow. And he's dropped us off, and I walked up to her, and I was like, hey, are you the one that did the readings? And she just looked at me and goes, I've been waiting for you. And she said, she was like, it's Scorpio season, huh? Midnight was my birthday that day. Love it. And she's like, sit down. And I'm freezing. I'm shaking now. I'm looking at my mom. I was like shaking her head like, Keisha, all this damn worshiping shit you do, you're so weird. Like, she don't want to deal with nothing. I sat down with that lady for a good 30 minutes. She never asked me for $1. Didn't ask me anything about my name, like just my first name. She knew everything that was going on in my life. And I was just sitting there, not even shaking my head for not her to feed off of it.
Oh, I love
that. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I did the same thing to Priscilla.
I'm very stuck.
I was sitting there.
Yeah, that's how I was. And I really don't have a poker face. Yeah. But at that moment, I think I was such in shock by what she was throwing at me that I was like, damn, like I just ended an engagement. I was going through the shit at the shop, and she told me everything. I had a staff of probably 10, the most staff I've ever had. And she was literally throwing at me like, Keisha, you're billing people too much. They're taking from you, you're pouring from an empty cup. Just be ready when you come back home from this vacation. A lot of the ones that are going to show their ass. And you're going to either hit rock bottom and get back up because that's what you're meant to be. You're strong. I see something different. And she said a whole bunch of extra stuff. And the other half, she said, you're going to start learning boundaries real quick. I was like, nah, man, I got a strong... In my head, I'm like, I got a strong ass that bitch. Like, I'm about to expand. Like, I've made these girls from nothing. I swear to God, I came that Monday morning and I had papers all on my desk with keys, all from... It looked like it was written from one same person. The same one I trained from when she was 17 years old till she was 22. Built her before the last one. And... it was all written the same way. They all left and got a studio together. The girl, I taught her so much. So she's like, let's all open 4 studios, split the rent under my name. Y'all can pay me. So she's getting free rent. She learned how to hustle the game, in other words. But just, showed her the game. But at the same time, never took advantage of people. And that was one thing I was really big on. You go into people, you make people partners. Because if they're a partner to you, they will not lose stuff. They will feel like it's part of theirs. They're going to give them all. Right. They're commission based. They come and go. 9 to 5, you pay me hourly. I ain't got to be here long. I'll stay and ling the clock so I can pay you. But she did all that. And when I sat there, and I mean, that was the one day I didn't cry. I didn't take nothing emotionally because I was like, well, damn. I bet. Like, I was prepared for it, but I wasn't. And like everything that woman said for that year happened one after one after another. And I built up. and I freaking went heavy. I made the most money I've ever did in COVID.
Yeah,
losing my whole staff. The most
it
money.
was the weirdest thing.
But it was like if the universe was telling me like, this is what you're supposed to do, baby.
Yep.
Like this is you, and it's time to elevate. And then it's like I hit another path and another thing, and she told me all this. She planned out like a whole 3 years of my life.
That's beautiful.
And now I'm sitting here like sitting back, and I
Did
just
she tell you about your
reminisce.
new boyfriend?
Huh?
Did she tell you about your new boyfriend?
I was ending my engagement, and little does she know that's the reason why I took the trip. I cut it off 2 months before my marriage, and she told me the man that you were just with was a narcissist. He got jealous of you. He grew you, but he didn't think molding you into the woman he was going to mold you into was going to surpass him. And she was telling me over and over, told me about my son's father, and I'm just sitting here like, yeah, what? And she told me when the time is right, when you're not looking, the right man's gonna come. Little did I know she was talking, like I feel in my heart that she's talking about the one I am with now, because he's very strong and he meets me. But that's when I full blown believed in everything. But then I went back last year for my birthday, not my 30th, my 29th, and she was nowhere to be found.
Oh, wow.
And that's when I knew it wasn't meant for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you went there for a reading this time. That's what
it.
you were supposed to get, and that's what you're supposed to hear and keep moving.
Yep.
And it was powerful. My mom got read. My brother's ex-girlfriend got read. A lot of stuff was put on the table, and every single one of them. My mom was the one that killed me the most because she didn't believe. She believes what she don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
She sat there. I mean, boo-boo crying. Called my brother right afterwards, saying thank you to him for some reason. Something had happened years ago, and she just looked at me and gave me the biggest hug. She's like, I needed this more than you needed it. Wow. So it was like a therapy session for us 3 women that did go on that trip. But that's when I looked at what you do so different.
Yeah.
Because it is scary.
I think the
beautiful.
key is who you go to.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
I think the key is who you go to.
Yeah,
Oh,
big time.
100%.
Yeah. So
100%.
because not everybody has a good heart. Not everybody means well. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I've been taken I've been dragged. You know how many I was young, because like you said, you've seen the chickens and all of that.
Yeah.
My mom, she don't care. Like I said, open book.
I don't care what I say.
She was like, my mom, unlike me in a way, she definitely needed to find herself spiritually. So she went through, all right, I'm Catholic. All right, Santeria. All right, Palo. All right. So that means Priscilla now is being raised knowing all of it. So I was in misas. I don't know if everybody knows what that is, but for the ones that don't, a misa is basically a seance, but in Spanish. That is where they bring in the head mediums that come in, and they start calling on spirits to talk through them, through their body. It's very different than what I do. The spirit don't come in me, and there's nobody coming in me and talking through me. No, I connect straight from source. If there's an ancestor or a guide, they talk, but they there. I'm here. It's different when they actually take over, right? At like 6 years old, I was at Misa's, and they was telling my mom she's got the gift. She's gonna also at the same moment saying this negative spirit is over here and wants to harm her. There's been plenty of things throughout my life where I've seen all ranges. Then she went through, believing more in like shamanism and like, so then we had a feng shui person coming in. My mother went through it trying to figure herself out.
She was trying to figure it out.
She was, and I don't blame her for that. Like, it wasn't probably till she moved out to Florida that she gave all of that away. She was just like, I don't believe in none of it. And then she finally found herself. And she found her spirituality and like what she truly believed in. And that's when things started to change for her. But I tell you, I've seen it all. And in a way, I'm glad I have, because now I got the knowledge of all of it. And I could tell people like, I don't believe in, like, not that I don't believe, I don't practice. I don't practice this, but this is that. I've been put through it. Can you believe half of the readers I've ever been to in my life never said, oh, yeah, she's gonna be this. No. Because they saw what I had and was like, oh, threatened. Keep that in. Yeah. One of the last bad readings I had, it was about 3.5 years. No, it was like 4. It was like 4.5 years ago. It was before I really came out. Not before, but it was right at that moment that I was like coming out about what and this lady, I don't know if y'all know her, but she's the one in the little house. It's in Cape. Like, when you come over the bridge, there's this little house that used to say psychic on it. I don't even think she there no more.
Oh, you talking about the hair?
Y'all know that house. She's been there for a
I've been there one time. I was like 17, 18. I wanted a reading so bad by her.
Did you get it?
I did, but it was off. Completely off.
Okay, so let me tell you.
I never went.
I went in there. And my mom had been to her. So my mom was all raving. No, let me take you to. And I was like, Ma, I don't think anybody should be tapping into my energy. But things were crazy at that moment. And I was like, all right, fine. Like, I got chills even talking about it right now. I go in. She looked me up and down. We go in her little room. We sit down. She start saying all the worst things. Your mother done put brujeria on you. She does witchcraft against you. She does this. She didn't know my mom was out there waiting for me.
What?
Didn't know my mother was right out there waiting for me, right? Insane. So she starts saying, "Oh, you should have been married. You should have had kids already." Da da da. I was already. I'm 33 now. I was already an adult. So I was like, oh, all right, maybe she right about that little part. So I keep listening, right? I keep listening. And then she's like, you are cursed and all this stuff, right? No, this is where she really got me. And this is where I had to realize it. She goes, but I could help you.
Of course.
I said,
the money comes
that they're always saying
she goes, what kind of reading did you want? And I was like, what you mean? Just the one we doing, right? So she goes, well, to get rid of this, so that way everything in your life goes well and you could get married and have... She was like, I need you to pay me $800, pulled out this magazine book.
Stop it. My face would have said it all. I would have been like, I'm going to leave. I'm out.
Listen, pulled out this magazine book. Okay, because it was like one of those, like, you know, back in the day how you would have those like books where you would order stuff from. What were those called? I don't even remember.
Catalog.
Yeah,
girl.
See,
catalog.
I'm showing my age.
You know. She pulled out a catalog for spiritual stuff, right? Starts going to the candle section. She's like, I'm gonna need $800 so that way I could get this candle and this candle, and you need about 8 candles. I was like, what? $800 for you to remove whatever you saying
for
I
candles.
got. I said, I don't think right now is a good time for me.
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Listen, I walked out of there. I was in tears because I was so angry and just so upset. Like, you just took complete advantage of me. Yeah. Like, I gave you an inch and you took all of it. You tried me. At that point, I felt like she tried me.
And what was you going to do with the rest of the candles after they take the off you?
Right? And then the fact was that she was going to do it at her place. It wasn't even for me to do. See, that's one thing. If you spiritual in any way, and if you not spiritual in any way, don't ever go to somebody and pay them to do something for you. That's like the biggest karmic debt right there for you and that person. Like, everything, you're not supposed to have nobody doing nothing. You want to light a white candle to bring in source, to bring in that good energy, do that. But you over here about to pay $800 I know people that's paid thousands of dollars.
I see it all the time.
My whole thing is, if you have the money and the energy to try to do like brujeria on somebody else, you have the time and energy and money to spend it on yourself.
Go heal.
Go to therapy.
Therapy.
Take a trip. Like, spend that money on you. Like, I never understood the whole thing of doing brujeria. You know what kills me? The women who want to do brujeria to like keep a man.
Well,
because that's karmic though. That comes right back every time.
It never works.
It doesn't.
It never works.
It doesn't.
I see. You ever see? On TikTok, it goes back and forth. Everybody doing the reading the cards and stuff. I've seen people teaching other people how to become like, they'll cut off their dude's dreadlock and tie it around them, or make your man drink period blood because he become obsessed. And I'm like, do y'all understand what y'all doing? They really don't realize it. And these young girls are feeding, or men are feeding into it.
Put something under your pillow and like repeat.
See, I would never. I believe in karma big time.
Me too.
Anybody throws at you, believe me, baby, I am protected by the highest of the highest, and it always falls back on the person. No matter if you see it, you might hear it. It might hit them 5-6 years from now, and then I look at them like, well, that's your karma.
And
that's some bad karma.
It be in ways that you wouldn't even expect.
That part.
Certain people, the way they receive karma is financially.
Yeah.
Some people, the way they receive karma is through bad health.
And
So
loss.
and loss and all, there's many different ways that people can receive what they sent out back to them, and it's never when they expect it. Never when
I
they
remember
expect
when I was younger, and my older brother, he had this girlfriend for years, and we all thought he was gonna marry her. Like, he adored this girl, and then he went to visit some family in the countryside, and then he met this other girl, and all of a sudden he came back from the country, and he broke up with his girlfriend, and he said he was marrying the other girl. Well, obviously, everybody in the
Something
family was like, eso es brujería, eso fue agua de panty
She put
que
the
le dieron.
roots on you.
Like, and she's from a town that's known for that. So I, at my tender age of 13, I was like, I didn't like her. I was like, she did, because I really liked the other girlfriend. I was like, she really did. And the way he was so in love with her, I was like, that's not normal. They just celebrated the 30-year anniversary.
Stop it.
I'm sorry, but I don't think there's any brujeria that can last that long. First of all.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
You'd be
Probably
surprised.
extra
Really?
strength.
I was saying, she probably just got that pussy power. It happens sometimes. Like,
They call it witchy
sometimes.
pussy.
I told her she got the gripper.
that witchy pussy.
She got the gripper. It happens to some people.
Listen, either way, they're still together, and it's like, I don't think.
I'm telling you, because my Scorpio love be having some dudes like, oh, they come 10, 20 years from now.
I get it.
It happens.
I
They
told
all
you my
come
husband's a Scorpio, right?
I'm telling Scorpios game, we the best one in the game. I'm telling you, and we don't even try to. That's the problem. But when we love hard with everything. We're very loyal. Might be a little crazy.
Not a little. Not a little. Y'all
Not a little.
We
Y'all
are,
lie.
but you know what? We a good balance. We're a really good balance because afterwards we swallow and we come back and we do 5 times more better to show you how much we really are there for you.
Give you
It
that.
it just takes a strong person to take our mental and our physical,
Yes,
our emotional.
absolutely.
And if you're not, baby, you just weren't the right one. It's just that simple.
It be
It's
that
just
simple.
It's not the fact
Because
that
look
you
at
guys
you,
are Scorpio.
29 years in, shit, that Scorpio did something, my dog. You did it. You did it, my dog. I'm trying to be like that later on.
No, I do have to say, one of the biggest trait of Scorpios is the way you guys love. You do love hard.
Too hard.
Yeah, you love hard.
I think it's similar to Leo.
Oh yeah,
I'm a
but
Leo.
you know what's weird though? I love Leo women.
Yeah.
Leo men I don't fuck with. I had the one Leo man I ever dated. He let a pit bull out on me.
Ooh.
Yeah, he sure did. I remember in the hood, right behind the market in Palm Beach. Yeah, it was fucking insane. But he was talking to himself too a couple times. So I should have been a little crazy.
the Leo part.
You're a little crazy.
He just was crazy.
But you know what? My best friend Marissa Gonzalez, shout out to her. She a real ass Leo. She's the only one I ever really met that's pure. Like, and I think it's an age difference. Like, if you're under a certain age, a Leo is they're very flamboyant. I don't want to say ratchet because they're just very flamboyant.
Extra.
They're very extra.
Very
they like
extra.
the attention. But once you get to a certain level, they're so loving and caring. You want to make other people to a point. You do too much for other people.
Stop saying that, because then my husband's gonna be like, "See, I told you you do too much."
It really is it's too much sometimes.
Be like, oh wow.
But I just went through shit. The girl that I just fired was a Leo, and she made me despise them. And I'm like, oh, you were just a grimy little one. And I look at it, it's the age difference. So it really is.
probably
And it's a generational thing too.
Oh yeah, this generation a little shout out right now.
Yeah, no
but
respect.
None
No
at
respect.
all. You can give them the world and they'll still bite the hand that fed them.
Ungrateful.
Very.
Yeah.
But
Very entitled.
Yeah, but I feel like they have to go through it. Like, I feel like I was put in her life to kind of teach her, like, this is not it. Like, they're still good
Teach her
people,
that
and this is
hard
your
lesson.
karma.
Yeah.
I'm not here now, and you're gonna wish you had me later on.
Yep.
But
That
then I
part.
see Marissa, and she's past 30. And I'm like, damn, it's dumb, because I have other friends that are 30s and older and Leos, and y'all are just solid ass people, men or women, and I see that. But I feel like that's just in anything, because men Scorpios, shout out to you too, but y'all crazy. Like,
Crazy.
I won't date a man Scorpio. I just won't. I might
learned my
be a
lesson.
dog. We could be best friends, but you cannot be my better half. Like, it just will never.
No, you
mix.
guys will kill each other.
Fuck yeah, hang
yeah.
somebody, hang them real quick.
Yeah, no, I learned my
But then there's
lesson
good
with Scorpio.
Pisces, there's Tauruses, and I believe in the whole little universe. They're all here for a reason.
Yes.
They got good halves for every little thing
Yes.
to add.
There's
on to
a
somebody.
a positive and a negative in everybody.
To everybody.
Yeah. Yep. Cancers is very emotional.
Oh, y'all just crybabies.
Extremely.
Extremely crybabies. Anything we say can hurt y'all feelings sometimes. She's like, I couldn't even tell her she didn't put the bed on right. I couldn't take the bed up. It happens, but y'all are so soft.
Too, just small.
That's what it is.
And it's just more of like a correction, because you always talk about when I was talking to you and got you back on. I was just talking to you. If I would have said the same thing to her, she would.
Because he's hard. You're a Taurus. Yeah. My ex-fiance was a Taurus. They're very stubborn, hard individuals. And
so are Scorpios.
Sometimes
not the word.
But Taurus, Pisces, and Scorpios are all very similar to each other. Yeah. And I needed direct. That tough love. I needed that balance. And
grounded.
It was so grounded. And like, I can see where he's coming from, because he was hard on me sometimes. That boy wake me up at 6 a.m. there in COVID. He's like, what you doing? I'm like, nothing. He's like, stop that shit. So we got things to do. So what else are we going to do? We're going to do this and that. Matter of fact, I'll be there in 30 minutes. Have the joint rolled up. I'm like, okay. And I'm moving around. I'm done playing in the garden, talking to him and building shit. But it's a good balance. Like, you need that. And I feel like Cancers need that. Y'all are so soft. You need somebody to take care of your backbone, because they have to build that for you. Same thing with Leos and Scorpios. We balance y'all. Y'all are that
it's
spitfire.
The leaders, though.
We're all leaders.
We're all the leaders. Like, so Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and then Libras, right? No, Aquarius. Those are the heads of each element. Okay. So each element has one that is the strongest out of all of them. Like, for instance, in the water signs. I'm
like, but I'm a water sign, so it's okay.
See, mine is like, shut up, I got this shit. Don't talk to me, I got it.
And the water signs, Cancer is like the baby.
Oh,
they got the most to kind of learn with their emotions and how they deal with them.
Oh, I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I'm glad you admit it.
I know, like, she's self-aware.
The first way to solve a problem is to admit there's a problem.
Oh, I take it as it is.
Well, my Sagittarius son should be like that.
I cry when I'm sad. Let's see. I'll cry when I see something that's really touchy on.
I cry all the time too.
I cry all the time.
I'm a crybaby, but I push through that shit. Let me drop a couple tears and then and then I go tackle it.
Yeah.
Now you're having a baby.
Yeah. I'm so happy.
Do you know what? Yeah, I was about to say, what are you having?
I don't know.
Not what are you having? I mean, what year? Yeah, when?
Oh, it's a Leo.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a Leo. I'm very happy about this.
Oh my God.
It's a Leo.
Be careful though, because 2 Leos in the house, like, you know.
I was about to say,
my cousin's a Leo, and we bumped heads our whole entire life. She's still an adult, and
you talking about the one I do the hair for? I can see it.
You can see it, right?
Right? I can see it.
And we bump heads. I mean, we're older now, so we don't fight. Like, when we were kids, we did fight a lot.
Wait, which cousin is
Liz. Not our Liz.
Okay, all right.
So, let me tell you about Liz. One day, we show up to New York from Boston. We drove 4 hours to go visit them. And she opens the door, and she's like, you're still fat?
Oh, no, she didn't.
She not the regular Leo. Leo would do that to another Leo. Like.
But she was like this. And I said, yeah, I'm still fat and I can always lose weight. You're still ugly. But that's how we treated each other. However, that's the one cousin that, remember I told you that one time that she was being bullied?
And I
took my bus from Boston to New York and I go beat up her bully?
Yeah.
Because we can talk to each other like that, but nobody else can. But we're very different. We're the same sign, but we're very, very different. That's how I know there's like 2 sides.
Is it July and August?
No, I'm August 1st. She's August 6th.
Interesting.
Yeah, but we're very, very different.
I got a cousin that's a Leo, and she got her ways, definitely, that I'd be like, keep you at a distance, you know? But I don't know. I feel like me and this, we gonna be like, good. Yeah. I keep hoping though, like, just don't be too late. Like, I was 5 days late.
Oh,
damn.
Yeah, I was supposed to be born on July 25th. I was born on the 30th. This baby's supposed to be born July 24th, which is interesting. So I'm like, you come out the 29th. That'll be funny.
Yes.
But just not on my birthday.
No,
Straight up.
On my birthday.
That's so selfish.
We had a conversation.
No, it's not.
Nah.
I'm like, don't do it.
Would have been selfish is her choosing to come out.
That's such a Leo. So my youngest, his birthday is July 14th. My due date was my birthday, August 1st. When I tell you July 5th came by, and I was walking on that boardwalk in Atlantic City every single day, I was like, you coming out. And he was born July 14th.
Oh, my.
He's not going to let me lie. So I went into labor because he went to New York. He bought me a chimi.
A what?
A chimi.
So we
chimi is a Dominican burger.
Okay.
Okay. So they didn't sell them in Jersey. Right. So he drove for 2 hours. He had to go to New York for something else, but he brought me 1 or 2 chimis. All I know is I ate, we had sex, and then I went into labor.
So you lucky.
That'll do it, right?
Yes.
They say that'll do it.
No, it don't, because I was banging and that shit would not come out.
And then
3 days late and 28 hours in labor, and I had Godot completely natural, no epidural, not nothing. But damn sure 2 Pitocins to try to like push that up. I think that's what it's called. Nothing worked. Nothing. Until I went into the shower and I was with hot water.
Were
and
you having sex throughout your pregnancy?
Not throughout the whole, but the last month or so, I was on it like a rabbit. I didn't want him to touch me. Everything about him bothered me when I was pregnant. That's how I knew my son was gonna come out just like him. And he hasn't raised him. He walks, talks, acts. He even looks at me like his father sometimes, and I'm just like, don't you? I'm like, where are me? Like, I raised you, bitch. Like anything can be about me, but nothing. He just has his love like me. He's so loving, but he's a Sagittarius. Crybaby. I would think he would have been Cancer. He cries about everything. He's so hard. I'm like, I prayed for a boy. I got a boy. I wanted him to be boxing, football, basketball. He's just now getting into it, and he barely like it still. I'm like, whose child is this? You damn sure your daddy, because this ain't the Camacho side. But I love him. He's my best friend now.
And he's so cute.
He is.
I love his chinky eyes.
The boy's like 5'3" and 10 years old. He's a big boy.
5'3"
Yeah, I like him tall. His dad's father's like 6'5". Like to climb him a little bit.
So as 4'11" women,
we like tall men.
Our men has to be taller and bigger than us.
Try. You know what?
How are we gonna snuggle with somebody that's like tiny and
bad
skinny?
Saying that.
No.
But there are people for everybody.
Yes.
Short people are not for me, and I hate to say that.
I could go either way.
Oh, but you're what, 5'5", 5'7"?
Yeah, I'm 5'5".
Yeah, you're that good medium.
Yeah. I used to be
Not
5'3". I swear I was 5'3" my whole life. Till I was 26. And then I went to the doctor, right? So I went to the doctor because they wanted to check my hormones, right?
You don't grow at 26.
Yes, I did.
She's like,
I'm trying to tell you. So I was 5'3" my whole life. Doctor going to be like, I'm going to need to measure you. I was like, I've been 5'3". He's like, yeah, I just need to make sure because, like, just to update everything. Right. Like,
something's not right.
I get on the thing. You know how they... I was 5'5". My hair was regular. My sneakers was off. I was like, I had a growth spurt at 26. Wow. It was the weirdest thing.
That's weird because women usually stop growing at 19.
Spurt?
Yeah.
I need a growth spurt.
Well, the man at DMV came through because my shit said 4'11" and a half since I was probably like 18. And I went back at 23. Right? I'm pocket size. I'm fun size. I love it. Like, I wouldn't want to any... tall women got to worry about your ankle showing. I ain't got time for my ankle showing in pants. So I'd rather roll them up than have high waters 20%.
About that.
I think about that in their feet.
There's a lot of things that are beneficial to being short.
It really is. We're just cute.
Shoes, sneakers. Sneakers.
Ooh, and I got the best.
I've never had small feet.
We can shop at the kids section.
No, I can't. My thighs are too thick. Oh, I'm blessed but not blessed at the same time. I got thighs but no ass, so it's kind of like hard to find. I hate that.
I said to the baby, I said, please give me a bigger butt.
That's it. That and dimples. That's all I wanted if I had a girl.
Please give me a bigger butt, because I'm like, no.
No, but he put on my ID 5'1". Now if I pass away and they find me in the car and they say 4'11", it just won't match. But I am 5'1" on my license, and I'm super hype about that.
I've always put 5 feet just because I figure I'm 4'11", might as well just do 5.
Yeah, because with a sneaker.
Yeah, you know.
With a good Air Max you up there.
I get it.
Last time, on the last episode of Parlor Talk, we talked about a subject, and I had posted it about, it was that video that went viral about the dad that was talking about that he had 7 kids, but he had never asked the women, he had unprotected sex, but he never told the women to keep it, he told them to get an abortion. And you posted a book, and I was like, oops, okay. So right now I want to give you the opportunity. Because you said that the reason you got triggered is because somebody that you looked up to or somebody that you respected
for
posted.
sure.
So tell me about that.
So there's I'm not an idolizing type of person. Like, you know how people always like, Oprah, what her soul look like? I'm one of those.
Yeah.
So I don't really idolize nobody, right? But there's certain people, especially in the spiritual community, you got to be careful with, because not everybody that's spiritual is truly on their right path, okay? And so that's why I always do say that saying of like what that soul look like. That's something that I really pay attention to. So there's this girl on social media, and I actually found her probably like 5 years ago on YouTube, and her name is The Trap Witch.
Okay.
And I respected her readings, the things that she would post. She was very real, very raw, very similar to how I can be very raw, but I'm compassionate. So there's a difference between the way we are. She had, and recently she's been posting certain things, and I've just been like, I don't know if I fuck with that. You know, like that kind of energy. So she posts, first off, I had seen the viral video that went. I saw it on somebody else that had posted it. I listened to the entire thing from the beginning to the end multiple times. And there's a reason why I did that. Because I feel like a lot of people are not observant enough. And I'm very observant before I'm going to say how I feel about something. And I'm also not one of those people that will comment on just whatever. My opinion is mine. I don't have to give it out for free to just anybody for just whatever reason. Like, I don't have to chime in, so I barely chime in on things. She posts this post, and before you know how like people put the sliding, right? So before you get to the video of the guy talking, she first writes this whole post talking about that this is a prime example of how women are using love bombing during sex. And she said, this is a perfect example of love bombing while you are having intercourse. And then she went on to say, because it was going to make you feel good to feel like a hot Twinkie. I'm telling you, when I say like she got disrespectful, because in my eyes, that was disrespectful. I couldn't believe that this woman that I thought, one, has been through a lot of things in her life. And, you know, I don't want to say what she's been through, but we talking about somebody that has been through some tough things in life. And she went on in this post to just shame women. And she was not fully agreeing with what he said, but shedding light on bringing it back to the woman.
Like it's the woman's
fault.
Like
it was her fault and she needed to heal. See, and that's something that I done a lot of. I've been through rape. I've been through really toxic relationships. I've been through narcissism. I've been through narcissism with men and women because let's be clear, narcissists are not just men.
Absolutely
They
not.
can be a friend. Okay? So
they can be a family member.
It can be family members. So I was like, watching her say these things, I was so taken back. And then what got me was when you read the comments. Because, see, that's what they don't realize. Yeah, you probably posting this for clout. You posting this for your brand to get better. But in actuality, there's a lot of people that read those comments. And you over here supposed to be enlightening people and making women empower them and on their healing journey. And she claims to be like top at shadow work. I know what shadow work is. That is something that I teach. I have workshops about it. Shadow work, if you don't know, is healing trauma. But it's not regular trauma. Shadow work is when you basically, I like to say, face your bullshit. That's when you face the things that you never wanted to face about yourself, that you know you got to heal to get through so you can move on and be in your highest energy. That's what shadow work is. And what got me was the comments. The amount of women that were agreeing with her. That it was their fault. Oh, you should have kept your legs closed. Oh, you're not a divine feminine. All these different things, like amping up what he said. And what got me was all the comments of the women agreeing and saying, yeah, nobody want to talk about that. Nobody wants to say that, you know, they should have been more responsible having sex with him and things like that. And I'm like, you know what? This is pissing me off. It woke me up at 3:00 in the morning. If I get woken up at 3:00 in the morning, that's spirit. You know, there's some people that will say, oh, those are the devil hours. Nah, that's when spirit talking to me. I woke up and I saw that post and I saw what these comments were saying. It was like the first time I ever probably chimed in. And I did. I wrote a book. I did. I went in because what got to me the most was the fact that it felt like everybody was ignoring the first 30 seconds of that video. They were so busy trying to validate his point at the end. Oh, yeah, you say what did he say? Your body, your choice. My life, my choice. But at the very beginning is where he says, yeah, I should have held myself accountable. Yeah, I should have pulled out and I didn't. And yeah, at the end, I told them after that I didn't want no kids. Right in that moment, how dare you shame a woman?
Yeah.
Because how many of us have actually slept with a man and they got us to that point by lying? Nobody thought about the fact of, hold up, we only hearing his one side.
Exactly. I want to see where those 7 baby mamas are at.
Exactly.
And I want to see what they say. Because we talked about this last time, and I was on both fields. I was like, I'll be real with you. If I'm asleep with a man and I know that I don't see a future with him, if God forbid I get pregnant by this man, will I be happy with it? Baby, I'm strapping up. I'm on birth control. I'm on a plan B. I'm on whatever I can do to protect myself. Now, it goes back to how he said he nutted in her and stuff like that. God knows what else the other story was. But as a woman, I feel like if you know at that moment, you know when a man nuts in you, you can feel the difference.
100%.
You know the pH level's unbalanced now at that point.
100%.
Handle what you have to handle. If you know this is the type of man you sleeping with.
Especially if it's a one-night stand.
Exactly.
Especially if it's somebody that you don't know. Because he said that. He said some of these were one-night stands.
He called them jump-offs.
Jump-offs.
See, which is disrespectful from the jump.
Completely.
But at the same time, like, women know what you're doing. You're laying and you're doing it with this man. You know what type of man he is. Protect yourself. When it goes on a men's part, if you sitting there nutting in a woman, you know what you did, and at that moment, you better become a man, and you're responsible long term. But it goes. It's a really back and forth thing on who needs to take care of what.
It plays a part. It's both parties laid down, so it's both parties' responsibility.
It should be responsible.
Well, my whole thing, what I think she's getting at is what the reason for this podcast, like women not supporting women. And I'm not saying you need to support every woman, even if they're wrong. No, what I'm saying is, if you see that somebody's bashing a woman, don't jump in and enjoy the bashing.
No.
If you don't agree with it, okay, you don't agree with it. That's it. But don't bash another woman because...
But unfortunately, that's the generation we live in now. People feed off of negative. I can post something about my business hitting, let's say, 5 years. Anniversary, I probably get 300-400 likes on it. Oh, congratulations, da-da-da. When I posted... about old girl stealing from me, and I never put her name out because I'm not the type of person either. I'm not gonna give you free clout off my name anymore. You know how many views and likes and shares?
They like
off
negative.
rip over 1,000. And I'm just sitting there and I looked at my mom and it took me everything not to delete it just because I wanted her to see it. Fuck everybody else. I wanted her. I know you saw it, then it's good. But it was the point that they fed off of it. Anybody will feed off negativity. They want their word to say. Now they feel like they're doing something to make a change, but you're not. You're just automatically amping into it. So we have to kind of check ourselves too sometimes 100%. Because even if we're sitting there, we're posting it or we're commenting or we're even sharing it, now we're condoning it. And that's where I fell back on my end. And I had to sit back. I'm like, you know what? Even me addressing something like that, I just fed into the negativity. I just let them feed off of what I'm going through behind closed doors. Never again will I. There's certain lessons you learn.
You learn from
that. This generation do feed off of it. It is what it is. Look at Kylie Jenner and the Selena Gomez going around. Like, I'm seeing Selena all day, but still, that's all you see now. People are feeding into it. This negative on top of negative, and even if you're going on back and forth on stories, it's still something. And look at what else we're blinded to. All these oil spills that's going on, weather change, fires.
Exactly.
This is meant for a reason. TikTok
to distract us.
Distract us.
It was a distraction.
Exactly. Everything's a distraction that we see on
Would y'all think it's a distraction?
Of what's really going on.
Yeah, I think so.
I automatically feel like that oil spill and everything they're doing, that was purposely done.
It's because it ain't got enough hype on it. I was talking to my barber earlier today. It don't have enough hype on it.
No.
And it's sad
anything
because
that's
we're only
positive,
hearing
it
it on
don't have
TikTok.
Yes.
Because when have we ever, I don't watch the news. I'll be real with you. I really don't. But I have Facebook and the news on my Facebook. I don't even see it on there.
Right.
Yeah.
So look at Ukraine. When have we ever, does Ukraine still going on?
The war,
right?
of course.
When have the last time we heard about that or spoke
When
about
it first started.
And that's it. And it only... what's it called? Trending. It only trended for a week to feel like, put your
but the
flag
reason
up
why
or
that
whatever.
negative, like, we got to get to the root of it. The reason why that negative stuff, pulls more traction than anything else is because, let's just say we use the podcast as an example. You're tied to it. She's now a guest tied to it. She's tied to it. She's tied to it. If everything breaks, if like all of you guys start hating each other right now, you got your story, your story, your story, your story. But that positive stuff, hey, Nakisha got new head high products, plug. The plug. It's kind of going to get drifted away from it. It's going to get drifted away because there's nothing attached to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the most weirdest way, we got to try to figure out, and this is the problem that we have in the Black and Spanish community, they figure out how to put propaganda in their media products. When you think of McDonald's, do you think of a burger?
No.
You think of what?
Happy
Name
Meal.
the first thing that comes
Happy
to your
Meal.
mind.
Toxicity.
Happy Meal.
Toxicity.
But I'm saying the advertisement wise.
What do you mean? Like
When you
that?
think about
What do you
McDonald's,
think?
what's the first
What's
thing that comes to
in your
house?
mouth?
I ain't gonna lie, the chicken
Fries.
sandwich.
Chicken sandwich. Right.
For me, it's a Happy Meal.
Happy Meal. It's got something else attached to it other than burger.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out how. My barber was talking to me about the whole premise of bean pies, why they was putting them out, and black people have the highest blood pressure, right? How cool does it sound to have a bean pie? You want bean pie, y'all?
Hell no.
It don't sound cool. So half of the stuff, black
you have to figure out.
restaurants, black Spanish restaurants, they just put the restaurant there, and then there's no media, there's no traction, there's no hype, there's no nothing. There's no name of a burger, there's no nothing. So, and then people get pissed off like, oh, then nobody go come see me. Because nobody knows, nobody cares, and there's no
marketing enough.
There's no marketing.
There's no propaganda with it.
Yeah.
That's true. Which is so sad still too.
It is because I think that I know for a fact that as women, if we were to build each other up more instead of tearing each other down, this will be a better place, a better world. And that's not just like, oh, kumbaya. No, it's real.
It's real.
It is real proof that, like, if you have an event and we all show up, we're supporting you, that's all you need. We don't have to buy all your products. We don't have to spend a ton of money, but just showing up
Just the
for
support.
one another.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying to go to every event, do everything. No, but support. Like I was just telling them
Support
how
when you can.
There's 3 curly hair specialists that I love, and sometimes I feel like I'm cheating on everybody, but I make sure I'm like, hey, by the way, I'm going to go see this person, but I support because I believe in all 3 of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be like, oh, I just get my hair done with Nakisha because she's the best. She's best. She's great at what she does, but I also like this other person over here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I would like to support her too. And they're both Hispanic women. I'm all for supporting women, period. But again, we have to think of our own people, our Hispanic people, our African Americans, the minority, because the other races, they already got their money.
Right.
They got their stuff
Right.
already laid out for them from centuries ago. We got dealt the shitty hand.
And deeper.
It's
Exactly.
deep.
Let's go deeper
It's really
than
deeper.
just the business.
Just
I was
yes.
You
about
need
to
to
say
know
that.
the demographic, because here's another key thing. Everybody know about hooks, right? Shameless plug. They're getting money on top of money over us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
They're not researching gimmicks and all this. They're researching what are you going to buy?
What's gonna sell?
What are you
It's
going
been
to
like that for
fried food
centuries.
Right.
Like it's been like that since beginning. Literally,
no different than Nakisha putting a beauty supply store here.
Exactly.
Because there's what other ones other than Sally's?
There's none ones. That was
None.
the smart part on my end. There's no barbershop.
was
So we
super
cater,
smart.
and it's the opposite now that we cater to a lot of women in the beauty industry. We forgot about the men. If you go anywhere, you have to buy online for any type of men. So that's the first thing I try to bring is some different demographic to Cape Coral.
Yeah.
And Cape Coral, barbers are urban. No matter if you're in California, Lee County, Fort Myers, Sarasota, they're all urban. So I kept it to that point, but it's a name at the same time being called the plug that if you're from the hood, we thinking about a different type of plug. Right. So it's getting your name across.
It's gonna fool them to come in.
Exactly.
Thinking they're gonna get some product.
Not knowing what they might get. Oh, the plug, they think I whatever.
Once they're here,
and
they're
then
like,
Keisha got the head high oil with the CBD. God knows what they selling up in there. But it's gonna bring attraction. But then you have the Americans, the white people that are gonna come in the plug. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's go see what that's about. And then they just automatically, it brings a different type of feedback. But at the same time, I feel like it depends on the business when it comes to the marketing, because I'm a well-known urban salon. When you come into my shop, you feel that New York style, that urban side. You have my Buddhism, all that stuff. So a mixture. But my clients range from whites all the way to 70, 80 years old. To Hispanic and black little girls and black men. It isn't a variety if I made it that part.
Diverse.
And like it's very diverse. And like you said, when you think about McDonald's, we say chicken sandwich, we say this and that. Hair artistry was made to never say no to a client. So when you think about hair artistry, it's like, oh, curly hair specialist. Oh, but they got men's cuts too, and they got this. They do braided. I made sure of that. So
I remember when you
like,
first started open, I was like, I need a one-stop shop. I need somewhere where I can get my lashes done.
Exactly.
We had that conversation, and at one point, you had everything. You had nails.
Had everything. But then we go back to again why women don't support women. I was a woman business owner, 23 years old when I first opened up. I was a baby, barely 3 years in my industry. I've been in it for 10. Within 2.5, I created a business. I try to bring the momentum of Cape Coral together. Let me get the best of the stylists in here. Let me do booth rental and commission. Gives you time to build. Right. But also, if you are your business owner, but you don't know how to brand yourself correctly, then I got you. You're not being greedy. You're paying a certain thing. What happened? I had lash checks, facial, braiding, dreads, everything. They all wanted to be better than one another. Every single different race, because I was never secure of just Hispanics in here, even though I'm a curly hair. I had white girls, Italians, blacks, Mexicans, anything you can think of, it's been in this shop. And I have fired accordingly because they wanted to be envious. They were lying. They're stealing clients from each other. Some were just trying to be a one-person team when hair artistry is not known for that. You can be the best of the best, and I've let them go. And people won't tell you, it's always 3 sides of the story. They won't ever tell you the real reason why I let them go, because as a boss, I don't speak on certain things. I don't have to explain myself. You weren't a good image for this shop. But it's sad because when you're given that platform as a woman owner, as I am, I've tried to do that. And it fails every time. There is something that needs to be changed in these women.
Competition is literally
there's no competition.
Shown. It's
and
literally
it's sad.
Like, if you really think about it, I feel like competition is something that is kind of pushed
on women.
Yes.
I mean, look at all these beauty pageants. Look at all these beauty competitions that basically you gotta pick
the best of
who
the
the
best.
prettiest, the best body,
Exactly.
the nicest hair.
Or
so
it's,
that's
or
how
it's
we're
a
raised.
thing of people clicking up. It's like back in high school.
Yeah.
I was just about to say.
I just had it happen to me today. Before I'll be real with you, this weekend I chose myself. I was like, I am not doing social media. I have messages from even them two, hundreds of messages on Facebook Messenger. I decided
so on my
not
way
to
here,
go in.
I was on the phone and I was like, my husband's like, what are you doing? I'm like,
Keisha probably never responded.
I haven't heard from Keisha, so I gotta make sure that she's gonna be there today. I mean, I know she knows we're supposed to
I was
record,
gonna be there,
but she hasn't answered. So I was like, let me send a message to our group just to make sure we're on the same page, because she didn't answer.
And
yesterday.
I just really didn't answer today at all. I just chose that this weekend was gonna be my family weekend. I went to the Strawberry Festival in Tampa. I needed to reset a little bit, but I got on Facebook today and I had a tag. And it was a stylist in Fort Myers, and she's a newer stylist. I've watched her grown from school and everything. And I don't speak on everybody I see out here, but I watch because I am a business owner. So I got to see who's coming up, who's feeding, who's eating, who's fired. And some people I've never met in person, just heard about. I'll recommend certain people if I know that's the skill level. Well, she tagged me somebody tagged me in her post saying, Is there any good stylists out here that's willing to take me in, even though I'm a booth rental somewhere else, so I can shadow? Now, there's different ways to shadow people. When you're in school, we say shadow because you're in school, you're learning. Now, when you're coming from a different place and you're trying to go to another salon, half of the time your business owner's just not going to allow it. Because at one point, you might lose that stylist. They might like the vibe at a different spot better. Or they're coming with more ill intentions, and which you never know. They might come, learn from you, and then try to slide clients away or do whatever their aspect is. But I was tagged in it. And I never got to respond because by the time I'd done it, the comment was deleted. And this is the second time that happened on this girl's personal page. Was I pay attention to little things, and I was like, she must not like me. I don't know her, but I don't know, whatever. Like, it is what it is. And I almost took the initiative to write her. Like, hey, I saw that I was tagged. It was erased. And I do allow people to come in here, even if you work at somewhere else, because to me, I'm Shhmoney. I have my own image. You can't take it away from me. My personality is why people come to me on top of my skill. So if you want to come and spend that 2 or 3 hours out of your day that you're not getting paid, come. You come learn, watch, videotape.
And you do classes
and
too.
I do classes that you literally can pay for, that you want a one-on-one. And I'm very open about that. It's posted on social media. Then it clicked. This is a stylist that works at a shop that a lot of people that I've let go have went there. So now it's a clicking thing. It's a, Keisha left me for this reason. Let me not mess with Keisha no more. And then it clicked to me again. I'm like, damn, it's sad that she just hindered her own growth by not reaching out to me and getting me to know me on a personal level and really come in and learn, because I've taught everybody. I don't care to teach nobody. It's a skill that God gave me that I'm willing to give back. Now I can teach you and you the same cut. Don't mean you gonna pick it up like she picked up or vice versa.
Exactly.
Come learn.
It depends on the person.
Exactly. But because you chose to click up with a certain amount of groups, just like in high school, you might hinder yourself from growing in a reading a poetry class because that poetry don't get along with this other person in drama, and now you don't want to click up. You're hindering your own growth, and that's sad to say. And we go back to why women don't support women.
Because it's pushed.
This is an issue.
It's literally
it is an
pushed.
issue.
It is
we need
an
to get
issue.
to the root of it, and that's why we wanted to create this space, because we want to get to the bottom of the issue. We want to figure out, and we want, not only that, I have a personal goal of mine to prove that you can genuinely be friends with another female, and you can genuinely support each other. Because every time I come in a situation, a friendship, a partnership, a business, I'm always trying to see how I can help you, how I can improve your life. What can I learn from you? Because I don't know it all. You know what I'm saying? Like this podcast, this is new to me. But I knew that we needed a way to be able to get together as women, talk about different issues that affect us, and get to the bottom of it. And at the same time, prove my thesis that there is positive women. There is women that are there willing to support you. There is women that can be genuinely happy for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Genuinely.
You just that comes with self-love.
Yes.
Because
Facts.
if you have self-love, you have self-confidence, you know who you are, where you stand on, and your
You're
why.
not going to be thinking
You'll
about
never
competition.
think about Exactly. You will never think about
I always
competition.
used to say that. Like when I started out here in Florida, because New York is different. You dealing in the concrete jungle. It's a whole nother ball game in New York. And even coming from New York, competition was always, it's like forced upon. You know, like even in high school, if you ain't got this, then you not it.
If you don't look
sneakers,
like this,
if
you don't have this,
you don't got this hairstyle, you ain't this. So you always being pushed, and I think that it's everywhere. It's in society, it's in the movies. I mean, you know what the movie just came to my mind? Dreamgirls. So many people look at that movie and, no, y'all don't see the real factor,
that part,
the backstabbing behind that movie. Like, I despise Beyonce.
That part, it's a cloudy window that people are looking
but
through a mirror.
I will kind of push back a little though, because I feel as a female, there is a good use for a competition, for a healthy competition.
Yeah, if you don't have no anger or hatred behind it.
Push each other to grow. So, because I'm very competitive. So it's like, push me.
But see, I'm competitive, but when it comes to that aspect, I like to win.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna hit somebody over the head to get up there either. There's a big difference between a different type of competition.
It's a very, and I think maybe because the generations, our older generation is more of it's a healthy competition. Let's combat and let's both grow in our skills, as where the younger generation might be coming for.
They got handed participation trophies.
I don't know. I feel like it was different.
No, we did too.
The moment they started giving participation awards and trophies, that's when I feel like certain sports just
look
suck.
at baseball. There's some kids or some football players that shouldn't be out there.
No.
Like it, and it's
you need
what
to
it
be
is.
in the bench.
They
and you
might
need to
be
learn your
better
position.
something else, but because you're giving them this and you're making them feel, it's good to give confidence. But sometimes you just got to be real. Like this ain't for you. In school, I was like that.
Forget
with girls.
about it. You need to learn how to lose.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
You need to
Losing
learn
is nothing
how
wrong with
to
losing.
lose and using that loss as a learning stepping stool so that next time you can win.
It's a lesson.
Exactly.
It's a lesson.
And bro, yeah.
You have to have that moment where, like, when we got,
I hate losing.
when we got the Super Bowl or whatever sport,
Yes.
there has to be a loser. Yes, your head is gonna hang low. We're gonna catch it on TV,
But it
at
builds
the same
character.
time, yes,
It builds
It
character.
does.
how do you
Yeah.
come back from it? Is what the question is.
Exactly.
But that's different than the competition that you see on
That's
women.
just called cheating. I think we need to reword it. That's just, I'm gonna talk shit about her so her confidence is down. She feels weird in the room, and then she don't cut correctly, and then I'm beating you out. I just beat you before you got to the fight. That's all that is.
Facts.
That's mind games.
Yeah.
I just saw that on UFC.
I hate losing.
Yeah.
There was a girl. She's absolutely
She
beautiful.
still
I think she's
like,
from
I hate
Russia or
this.
something. She has very high cheeks. She's like a siren.
Yeah.
She is a bad bitch. When I saw her energy, I was like, yo, she has a hard demeanor. Like, you either gonna like her, you don't like her. But then it got to the point that she hit that fine line of being disrespectful.
Right.
And she was all in her face, pushing her, doing all this.
Right.
She got knocked the fuck out to the first round. And I was like, look at that. Like, sometimes too much confidence will sit you in your ass too, but
That's
you
called
need
cocky.
that.
That's called being cocky.
I learned
She
that
was very cocky. She was.
Recently, this
But-
guy was like that. He was like, nah, I'm confident. And I was like,
No, you're
not
just
cocky. He goes, no. There's a big difference.
There is a big difference.
And what you just said is literally that.
I could say
When there's
she
an
is cocky.
arrogance behind it, that's cocky. You're not even confident no more. That is a completely different.
My whole life, my cousin said that I was full of myself, that I thought I was the shit, right?
Well, Leo's
So-
not told that.
So what I try to explain to them is there's a certain confidence and security that you get when you know yourself,
Yes.
right?
Facts.
Anybody can say anything about me. I'm not going to say never, but I would say 99% of the time what people say does not bother me because I know it's not me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were certain instances where somebody posted something, like an indirect comment, and my cousins, they'll be texting me, did you see what so-and-so posted? Did you see that? I bet you that was to you. And I'm like,
So,
If the shoe don't fit, I'm not
I was
tying
like-
it up, babe.
they're like, don't you feel some type of way?
No.
I will feel some type of way if it was true.
Yeah.
But because it's not true, it doesn't bother me. Oh, it bothers me. Oh, she shouldn't be saying this. That. You're hurt by it, but I'm not because it doesn't bother me. Because the storyline is not about me.
I feel like sometimes people are taking it personal because that's the way they honestly feel about themselves. Because I post a lot constantly. I am very confident in the woman I am. The body I had before I had my son, the body after. Actually, I think I feel sexier after I had this mom bob and shit. But I like taking photo shoots, which a lot of people don't realize I am well known. So I either get
taking
paid
photo shoots.
to do it, to promote the photographer. Or sometimes I just want something different on my social media to spice it up. But I post a lot about hair, every different thing, a different events, whatever's going. I had somebody jump into my inbox and was like, ew, I used to follow you for like 10 years. And mind you, she followed me for 10 years. It means the beginning of my hair industry. When you used to do hair out the house. She made it very clear. And she's like, but now you're just too fucking cocky. And I don't like it.
yeah.
You feel like your shit
I've
don't
gotten that.
stink.
Oh, you a
and
hater.
No, that's what it was. And I wrote her
That's a
back.
hater.
And it took me, at first I laughed it off. I'm like, yo, this woman's tripping. I don't even know her. She from New York. She used to be from here years ago, but I don't know her. But I have 5,000 friends too on social media. So it's like, whatever. So when I wrote her back, I said, baby, I'll be honest with you. I feel like this is a personal hit on your own end. I'm like, if I intimidated you that much and bothered you between my positive post, my self post, and my business, it's not that hard to unfollow. Like,
Exactly.
it doesn't
That
bother
part,
me that I might be somebody's, I might not be your tea, but I'm somebody else's tequila, baby. Like, they love me. They love me here, and I love me. And I feel like that was a problem with a lot of women now. They just, they want to be that. They want to express that confidence. They want to be beautiful, but they're scared to do that. You need to self-love. We go right back to self-love. A lot of that envious, jealousy, and stuff is self-love.
Really, so for me, because I was told I was cocky and full of myself when I was 265 pounds.
Ain't that crazy though?
Yeah.
Like,
Because whenever we would get together to take pictures, all of them were like, oh, this is my good side. This is my good side. I'm like, both my sides
whole
are
side
good.
is.
We had that when we first came out. I'm like, which side is your best side? You look off on it, but this is my good side. She's like,
I was
okay, I
like,
have no
I don't
problem.
care.
I'm like,
I was
bet.
like, both my, and it's not cockiness. So I see myself, and the way that I see myself is, if I don't love myself, how can I teach others how to love me? If I don't treat myself good, how can I teach others how to treat me? So I'm gonna make sure I don't wear a lot of makeup. For years I didn't. I started wearing makeup now that I'm older, but I got myself a nice vanity that my lovely husband put together, and I sit there with the big lights, and I'm learning. I don't know how to put makeup on, but I'm learning, you know. And every day I do a little more, and I watch a little video, and I love, you know, how I look. There's nothing wrong with loving the way you look. There's nothing wrong. And I loved myself when I was 265 pounds. Now, I will say, I'm going to be real. I didn't like shopping. I wasn't completely happy with my body because I had to spend a lot of money to look good. Because clothes was more expensive.
Right.
But it was never because I didn't love myself. Never.
So I was in the same thing. We was out bowling, and I got a video call from a guy that I used to have a crush on back when I was 15.
You were right there, Icey?
I don't care.
I'm in media.
And so I didn't answer it. And then it was like, hey, call me ASAP. So I was like, okay, what the fuck is going on? So I went, called him, and he was like, oh, I see you. And I was like, what you mean? So I'm looking around the bowling alley, and then he was like, oh, no, I see you, you know, on YouTube, and congratulations with the podcast and all of this.
Oh, this is when they start creeping out of nowhere.
So then I was like, okay, thank you.
They become fans at that point.
And I was like, thank you. And he was like, oh, he goes, but I'm going to be honest with you. He goes, I still like you. I still have feelings. I'm like, we haven't talked since I'm like 16, 17.
Ew.
And weirdo. I was like, okay. And then he was like, but I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't like try to do anything. He was like, you want to know why? And I was like, okay. He goes, because you got confidence now. You can see it on the show.
No, he did not.
And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he goes, you know, with your weight loss and your journey, and, you know, now that you're on the podcast, he goes, your confidence shows.
Oh, he hates
on
himself
there.
That's what it is.
So then I was like, okay. I was like, well, isn't that what you're supposed to want? Is your girl to have confidence in herself?
And growth.
There's so many that don't.
And he was like, yeah, but, you know, like back when, you know, before, he goes, you know, used to like be like, oh, you know, guys really don't like you because of how you were. And I was like, don't get it wrong. I was pulling guys, but I did feel like
Right.
I did feel like that. You know, there was a part of me, and I hated to go clothes shopping, to everything. I still to this day hate it because my journey is still not finished with this weight loss. And it's like, okay, like, what do you want me to do?
He was trying to trigger you.
I was
girl.
like, let's talk about
Trying to trigger you.
narcissism, because
So it's like-
that's what a narcissist
So it's
is.
like, okay,
Girl.
but you
Feed
know
off
what?
of your,
I'm
They try
gonna
to
let
put you down
go.
to put
He
themselves up.
completely gaslighted you.
That
and
part.
I was like,
took
you know
back
what?
every compliment that he
and
said.
threw back even more to see if
I was
they'll
like, you know
drop
what? I was like, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna go be with my friends again. Have a good day.
Would have blocked his ass. real
So
quick.
No, you gotta let him.
I
keep
left
seeing the
him.
growth.
See, I left him.
My mom.
I don't.
I
I never understood the whole blocking people.
My mom says that.
I left it.
Sometimes
And
you
then
do.
I tagged him on the next show. and I got a message. Hey, Ma, can you stop tagging me in your posts?
I was like, no, baby, you can unfriend me.
So I was like, oh, so we're not showing support now, you know? I was like, okay, cool beans. So I blocked them. But I was like, okay, it is what it is. I was like, but at least I know you're watching me.
Period.
Yeah, I like
following
to
me.
let people just watch. It's when it gets creepy.
That's what I'm on a fair
I've
line with
never,
I
that.
don't like the watching, so like I'm one of those, like, you
Believe in
watching
the
me
evil
right
eye.
now, just know I check my stories. So I watch to
Yeah, I gotta
see
get better with
who's
that.
watching
I
my
do it.
stories. I don't play
Yeah,
about
I watch
that.
everything.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, so you watching everything that I'm posting, but you don't
like me.
follow me.
Yeah.
You don't like none of my stuff. You don't support anything I do. Oh, I've called out people. There was this one time, like, literally, it was probably...
We should save that
Yeah, we should say that.
for another time because we definitely need to have you back
Oh, I love
on.
that.
Yes.
I would definitely
Definitely.
come back.
So the reason why Parlor Talk, right,
Yeah.
is because when you go to your hairdresser, your hairstylist, your
Yeah.
hair, you just start
Like to
talking and it
chit-chat.
flows,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So this is why, and we can go on forever. We can go out for
Hours.
hours. I mean,
Hours.
I would probably
An hour and 30 minutes.
I will probably need a little more another drink. This is just energy drink, but I would, in order to keep going, I would need some alcohol, like to just like. But you can't drink right now. But
No, but I wouldn't even really want to drink. I'm more of the...
Smoker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel that.
I feel that.
Yeah.
All right, but we're definitely gonna have you back.
Thank you.
Ooh, maybe
I would
we-
love to come
maybe we
back.
can
This is
ha-
lit. All right,
Well, it's
listen.
such a
I'm
vibe.
a talker. Like, I don't talk on my thing.
How
but
about maybe you come back and we do a live reading,
Oh, I
I'm
would
down.
love that.
I think that would be
I
really,
would
really
love
dope.
that.
right?
Yeah.
Fill up.
But
Yeah.
we should fill it up. It'll be different because
Yes.
collective, like I was telling you earlier when you asked me the group thing, it's a little different when I do a group. So like collective is like
It's
where
different.
I can really,
Show.
they're gonna really touch on everybody.
Oh, we're gonna do a whole event about that.
Yeah, we
coming
definitely
soon.
should. Yes.
Parlor Talk. We're going to tap in with Priscilla, and we are going.
Yes, I love that.
I love
I'm so
that.
down.
We're
I'm gonna
put
be in
something
there like,
down for
together.
this.
We're gonna let you guys know. That way, you guys can come by and be part of the audience. And yeah, let's do something nice.
I'm down for that.
yeah, I
Well,
think that'll be a good vibe.
Right now, we're going to say goodbye for now. We're going to see you guys next week. I'm going to say my goodbyes, and then my co-host can say theirs. This is Dee Dominguez. See you next time.
Hold on. Ashley, tell them how you got your name.
Yes.
Oh, wait,
That's
yes.
a good one.
So
Well, I
wait,
was
before
gonna,
that.
I was gonna say that for the next one, but
Okay.
we can.
No. Hold up. Before we started recording, we were having a conversation, and our guest asked her how to
I
pronounce her
completely
name because
missed
she
it.
wanted to make sure she didn't mispronounce it. So she explained how she got her name. So we need to know how Enya came about.
Oh. So, my real name is Ashley. It's very common. I love my mom for picking my name. However, it became too common. And then getting into the podcast world, I was like, he kept telling me, you need a stage name. You need a stage name. I was like, okay, well, let's go by Ash. Because all my close friends, they call me Ash. No, that's too common. So I was like, okay, fine. So I was like, you know what? I'm stuck.
And remember, she's a shy one.
I'm
Right.
stuck.
And then you're the shy one.
So I was like, okay, like I've gone through a tremendous battle in my life, ups and downs, and then 2021, I took a risk and switched my health and basically shedded a whole life from that. So it's like, let me start using good old sweet Google. And I was like, I Googled bad bitch empowerment names. So a lot of them came up, and I was like, yeah, that could. And then Phoenix came up, and I was like, I love it because that means rebirth,
Rise from the ashes.
a new beginning. I was like, that shit fits perfect, because I'm in, the middle of my journey, so I'm basically going through a rebirth in my life. And then I seen Enya, and Enya means fire.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
So then I was like,
Love it.
so then I was like, okay, like I like both of these. How do I pick? So then of course I'm like, I think I was at home and he was somewhere, and I was like, how about Enya or
I was
Phoenix?
playing a video game. I was in the middle of a lobby, and then I looked back. She was like, "How about Enya Phoenix?"
No, I was like, how about Enya or Phoenix? And then he was like, put them together.
Yeah.
So then I put them together, and I was
Fire
like, yeah.
rising from the ashes.
I love that.
I
That's
love
what
that.
I
Enya
love
Phoenix
it.
And I didn't
means.
hesitate on my thinking. I was like, "Put them together." All right. So who?
And just so you guys know, so I also I believe in things meshing and happening for reasons, right? So my logo is a phoenix for my nonprofit.
That's what I was
love
thinking
that.
about.
And
when you were
I've
saying
got
it.
this, and this logo was created 2 years ago, way before I met her. So this is how I know we're meant to be.
Hell yeah.
Aw,
I love that.
Phoenix sisters.
I love it.
The Phoenix
Phoenix.
sisters.
So, all in all, just Google bad bitches.
And you'll find
Yeah,
something
you'll
in there.
find something.
All right.
Give them your hashtags.
You can catch me at Enya Phoenix on all social media platforms. This is Parlor Talk, the conversation behind the hair. And
the
if forget it,
and the flip.
oh.
What about you, Priscilla? Tell everybody where they can reach you, how they can find you.
I only got one social media, so you can definitely do that at Priscilla_is_tapped in. So I only got one. That's it. That's it. You gonna find me
Simple.
there. Very simple. I'm a very simple person.
And what's popping? Yeah, y'all already know it's Shhmoney Curl. You can find me on all social sites, everywhere under Shhmoney, and it's not Shhmoney. I don't know why people keep thinking it's Shhmoney. Like when I walk in the room, everything's silent. Shhmoney, you feel me?
Shhmoney.
Yeah, everybody keeps calling me Shhmoney. I don't understand.
Hey, quiet money. Come on here.
I know, right? Like, I don't be loud. Like I don't know. It's a good mixture.
Tell them your pronoun is not she.
It's not she.
Right.
It's not she. It's Shhmoney. So it's SHH Shhmoney Curl. And follow me on all social sites because we are having another smoke event. It's coming up for 420. It's April 15th. And yeah, when you get more information, holla at me. It'll be all over social sites. So yeah, you already know what it is.
All right, guys.
Back.
Well,
Yep.
we'll see you next
Oh, it's such
week.
a vibe too.
I gotta come to the
Bye.
I'm
Bye.
about to get a tattoo that says shh right here.
Do it.
For real.
Do it.
'Cause every
The fingers
time-
tattoo hurt. I got that one. That was probably the only one that kind of
We can't stop
stung me
talking.
a little bit. Yeah.
We're still talking. We
I
can't
know.
stop.
Literally.
Bye, guys. See you next week.
Bye. I gotta go be a baseball mom.
I told him I was gonna get it, so every time I want them to shut up and just don't do this.